Hello and welcome to Anxious Time at Bed.
Hmm?
Hello and welcome to Anxious at Bedtime. That too.
We are your co-hosts. Thank you for joining us. My name is Monica.
And I'm Cash. So you got something cool to talk about or what, dude?
Kind of. Just one thing really fast. There was a TikTok, I think you sent it to me, by a girl. Her username is Baelin, Baaelin. And
I have no idea.
basically, she experienced something weird, and it started with a weird light shining outside her house, but it was like shining almost from above her house down, not from her house, so it wasn't like a porch light or anything. And then she has security cameras inside the house, and you could see on the cameras that the whole house lit up. And then she had a weird dream that like she was in a hospital room, and something like cut off a piece of her arm, and then somehow reattached it to her. And basically, she thinks she might have had a UFO abduction or an alien abduction.
Yeah, it sounds like it. They put something in her arm.
Yeah, well, she doesn't know. But in the comments, a ton of people were saying that they've experienced similar dreams, like very similar dreams, and it was spooky.
That never happened to me, thankfully.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound fun at all.
You would rather that than probe.
Absolutely. I'd rather them cut a piece of my flesh. Fucking don't do it, guys.
Don't do it.
But I'd rather them cut a piece of my flesh, put a piece of something like... No, what are they putting in there?
I don't know.
A tracking device? I don't like
It
that.
has to be like an Apple Watch.
I saw this episode of South Park where, out of Cartman's ass popped out like a giant satellite system, and I don't want that either.
No, that doesn't
Definitely
sound
not
fun.
that. Definitely not out of the ass for sure.
So you're still team no probe.
No probe. I'm
Okay.
forever no probe.
Okay. If you are new, we have this question that we like to ask. If you could be abducted by aliens.
If you were to be abducted by aliens.
Yeah. Basically, if an alien approached you and was like, hey, let's hang out. You can come up to my little spaceship. We can have us a little day. Teach you all about aliens and shit. But I have to probe you. You won't remember it. You won't feel any pain. But you have to be probed for scientific purposes. Would you be probed or would you not be probed? So team probe or team no probe?
Again, there's no fucking point in getting probed if you don't remember anything either. So, like, you're just getting probed. Like, what?
But you got to meet the aliens. And
you don't remember it.
You do remember meeting the aliens. You just don't remember being probed.
Well, either way, no, fuck that.
I'd want to meet
I guess
the
you'll
aliens.
never really know, huh?
So...
You don't remember the probing, you won't remember the agreement. But I'm saying no.
I'm still team probe by aliens. So, yeah, if you're new to this question or if you've heard it before and you finally have an answer, email us and let us know which team you stand on.
We're not going to air out your answer to everybody. We're not going to tell them, like, hey, Nana says she's probable. What? I might do that, but...
No. But anyway, yeah, that's all that I had that I wanted to talk about.
All right, so on today's episode, we got some listener stories.
We do.
Some people submitted. Monica submitted them, whatever that means. What did you say earlier?
I asked some people if I could share their stories on Reddit.
Oh, yeah, she reached out and requested the permission to share them.
Yeah, and people were nice enough to say yes. So.
Yeah, thank you guys.
This is our second installment of listener stories. And I guess I'll just get started.
All right.
This first one is called A Voice Saved My Life by Oxy. I was walking alone on some waterfall trails, but climbing the big rocks along the sides, jumping from one to another and sliding down, having fun. I began to slide down a rock when I heard a very stern and loud voice yell, "Grab onto that branch." And so I did. I used it to pull myself up and went back to the main trail. At the bottom of the trail, I looked up and realized I could see my slide marks in the dirt that led to nothing but an 80-ish foot drop onto jagged rocks.
Well, fuck all that.
Yeah, right?
I don't like that at all.
I'm talking literal inches from death. Some interesting things to highlight. Number 1, I didn't realize there was a massive drop, nor did I understand the intensity of the situation until I was at the bottom looking up. Number 2, I was alone, but the voice seemed to come from an external voice directly above me. Number 3, the voice was different than my internal dialogue voice. Number 4, the branch I grabbed onto was thin and flexible, but somehow it held the weight of myself, basically doing a pull-up. I often think about the fact that I wouldn't be here today if I didn't hear that voice.
I wonder what Oh, you think it was Mothman?
Oh.
Oh, yeah, he shows up in disasters, you know? He's like, oh, shit, reach up.
That'd be fun. Yeah, he shows up to help people, and that's a theory.
Yeah.
You'd think if Mothman was there, he would just go help himself, though.
No, remember, he doesn't intervene.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
He's an observer.
But telling somebody to grab the branch is intervening.
Not really. He's just recommending.
He's like, who said that?
He's like, who the fuck?
Maybe. I like that. Of course, then there's like the philosophical, like maybe it was God or an angel, but...
Well, yeah, Mothman. Maybe he's an angel.
Maybe. Yeah, I kind of like the idea that it was Mothman.
Big fan, big fan.
Big fan. But that's wild. I couldn't imagine like just going about your day, you know, boop, boop, bopping, going on, like jumping on rocks and trails and shit, and you do a little slide, a little slipperoo, and you're like, oh man, like that was kind of scary. I almost sprained my ankle. And then a few minutes later, you see where you slid, and you like could have died.
You see why I'm not a big fan of going on hikes and stuff like that? No. Yeah, I don't like all that stuff.
That's crazy to me. I can't even imagine like your whole body would go cold.
Not mine.
Mine would. And that like nauseous feeling of like, dude, what the fuck?
No, you remember when that bird plane almost crashed into me?
Yeah.
I think I'll be all right. Like,
That's fair.
Shit. Well, that didn't happen.
That's
all
fair. Right. For context, I know we've shared this story before, but there was this one time a few years ago, back when like things were tense with Russia at the time. And so everybody was like, oh, we're all going to go to nuclear war. And Cash was outside of his job, and there was a plane that swooped down and looked like a missile out of the corner of his eye. And he was just like, fuck. And that was it. That was his whole reaction.
But it wasn't even a plane. It was just a bird.
It was just a bird.
Even worse.
But he's so like calm in tense situations.
What shit I can do about it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. So you probably wouldn't be that freaked out, but I would be freaked out. But Oxy, I'm glad you are okay and that you did hear that voice and you listened to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Was it Mothman, by the way? Think back. You may not know now, but, think on it.
Yeah, think on it. Let us know.
Let me know.
Story number 2. This one is from Reddit user JealousOutcome8434. Around 9 months ago, I had just gone through a terrible breakup. It was my first major relationship and had lasted 2 years, so I was not in a great place mentally. She had dumped me, and I tried to fill that hole inside me with another person. Getting to the point, I was hooking up with this girl that I had recently met. Let's call her Anna.
Hello, Anna. Welcome.
I had gone to her house, and we were making out on her bed. It was around 11 p.m., and the room's light was off. The only illumination was from her bedside digital clock. The clock lit up the room just enough to see the blurry gray outline of objects in there. I was on top of her, locked in the moment, when I feel this weird nagging sensation, like we were being watched. I ignored it. I know that the room is locked and that the only people inside it are us. But as we continued enjoying each other's company, I couldn't shake that feeling.
Dun-dun.
Deciding to put my mind at ease, I glanced up to do a quick survey of the room. I don't know what I expected to see, but to my left, about a foot away, standing at the edge of the bed, staring intently, was a figure.
I would have slapped the shit out of it.
No voyeurs here.
Yeah, if it would have startled me, yeah, you got me all the way. 50 Shades of fucked up. I would have started swinging. Yeah. Slapped the dog shit out of him. I'd have dog walked that shadow.
Dog walked?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I don't think I would have. I think I probably would have peed a little.
That's you.
Maybe a fear fart.
That thing would have fear farted and pissed when I slapped the shit out of it. Oh,
yeah.
I might have fear farted too. You're right.
Yeah.
Who knows? Fucking say that.
Okay. Which, in my quick, absent-minded glance, in this dark room, caught me totally off guard. From what I made out, it looked like an old, hunched hag. Probably between the ages of 70 to 80.
I don't care. I'm not ageist. I would have slapped the dog shit out of her. You fucking creep up a foot from my face while I'm macking down? No. She would have caught them hands.
We do not endorse violence.
I don't either, but that old hag would have caught some hands. I would have dog walked her, for sure.
Standing at the side of the bed, with a huge smile stretched on her face, and inhumanely long, twisted, spindly fingers clutching the edge of the bed.
Yeah, sorry, Grandma, you're getting molly-whopped.
I pull away from Anna, startled, thinking, holy shit, what the fuck is that? She's looking up at me, wondering what's wrong. I look around the room once more, and the old lady is gone.
Oh, I was going to say, I would have felt real bad slapping the shit out of her grandma. But I'd have been like, bro, you got to warn somebody.
Oh my God, it's just like her grandma was like, I thought you might like some cookies.
Yeah, and she'd have been fucking blacked out after that. Oh, somebody should have warned me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to catch an assault charge, too.
What the hell? I don't think that's where this story's going.
Well, hopefully not.
Anna's asking me if everything's all right, and I decide it must have been the trick of the light. So I tell her it's all fine. The night goes on, etc. At some point, a little later, Anna gets up and tries to turn on the light. The light turns on for a second, then flickers a bit before blowing, which plunges the room into darkness.
Ta-da.
Now, I'm not a small guy. I'm 6'1", 210 pounds, but the weird occurrences were starting to get to me a little. Especially when I hear Anna mutter, "That's weird. I literally just replaced those lights." It was getting late, so
It would have been weirder if she said, "That's weird. That just happened an hour ago, too."
That would have been insane.
This happens every time.
Every Thursday at 11:23 p.m.
Every fucking Thursday at 11:23 p.m. These lights. What's with them? And then that fucking old lady at 11 p.m. always leaning over my bed, long fingers. Did you see her? Anyways.
I think that would have scared me even more than seeing her.
Yeah, I'd have
she was
fucking
like,
dipped
I didn't see the old lady
yeah,
today.
if that chick was like admitting it, I would have been like, you could have oh yeah, get out of there.
Yeah.
Anyways, where does this go?
Let me find my spot. It was getting late, so I slept over without incident and left the next morning.
Felt guilty because it was dark and couldn't get the lights back on. I get that.
That's fair. I wonder if she was able to get the lights replaced and they were fine, or if she was just like, let's go to bed.
Should have asked.
Yeah, I should have. Now all of this had left my head in the day, and I had shaken off any of the residual fear left from the night before. Falling asleep in my own bed without problem until I wake up in the middle of the night.
Her grandma followed him.
Same sensation. Someone is watching me. I try to move and realize my body's paralyzed. I'm freaking out, thinking, holy shit, is this sleep paralysis? I'm trying to figure out why I had woken up at 2 a.m. when I was undisturbed. I had fallen asleep on my back, so I was positioned staring at the ceiling. I couldn't turn my head to look, but I could feel something on the side of my bed watching me. I have never felt fear like that in my adult life, and I could feel my heart beating, adrenaline surging through my body. I slowly inch my eyes towards the side of the bed, and my worst fears are confirmed.
Her grandma fucking followed him.
The same hag from Anna's house is standing less than a foot away from me. Her hands outstretched, her wide grinning mouth inches from my face. Her dark eyes absorbing into my soul, although she's shrouded in darkness. And we stay like this, me frozen and her standing over me, smiling, for hours, until light enters my room and I can move again.
Was she a fucking Dementor?
No, I think... I don't know. It's weird because the first time he was awake, and I'm not even done with the story yet, but the first time he saw her, he was awake. Yeah. But do you remember our sleep paralysis episode? It was like episode 2 or something, like a year ago. And we discussed one of the most common like demons or figures that's seen is an old hag.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. But you only get sleep paralysis when you're asleep. So I don't... But the description of this hag perfectly fits the description of the old hag, the sleep paralysis demon.
Yeah, and I don't think this would have happened to him if he would have just slapped the shit out of her the first time. She wouldn't have followed him.
I don't know if that's true. I wouldn't have slapped her, but...
In a panic, I would have.
I know. But that's so crazy.
That's wild.
Okay, I'll keep going.
All right.
The next day, I take this as a sign and decide that something is attached to Anna or her room. And it has followed me home, and it clearly does not want me near her. So I cut my losses and cut ties with Anna. For context, I've never had sleep paralysis before, not once in my life. I haven't even had nightmares for years. and I haven't had a sleep paralysis experience since.
Have you ever seen the movie It Follows? Ooh.
Oh, shit.
Ooh. Could be like that.
What the fuck? And then he stopped seeing her. Oh my God.
Tag, you're it.
I have to know. The next person you dated, did they see her?
Did they get sleep paralysis too?
Oh my God.
You should reach out and ask, and then holler at us. Let us know.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I have goosebumps. That's crazy. Okay, I have to keep reading though. Ooh, I just hit my mic. My biggest drive behind this being a supernatural event is because of the timing and the place of the haunting. Mid makeout, I should not be subconsciously thinking about ghost grandmas watching me, especially when there had not been anything to trigger such a thought. I had felt safe and happy in Anna's room before the incident. Second, her light bulb blowing was a cherry on the cake, I agree. Third, it's strange timing for my first ever sleep paralysis experience to happen, especially with the demon manifesting as the same hag bitch that I had seen the night before. Fourth, as soon as I cut ties, everything weird stopped. There's some evil ghost hag out there preventing me from getting with the baddies. That's an iconic line. I want that on a t-shirt.
There's some old hag out there preventing me from getting with the baddies. Just Anna, I heard, and you already got with her, dude. I think you'd be all right.
Yeah, that's crazy. So I
don't think that one was Mothman at all.
I don't think it was, no.
Okay.
But I don't know if I think it was sleep paralysis either.
No, It Follows. That's an STD.
That's something. Not a real STD, but like a ghostly STD.
A haunting.
Yeah. Maybe she was like some prim and proper grandma.
Sexually transmitted hauntings.
Haunting, STH. But like some prim and proper grandma, like Hetty from Ghosts. And so she's following like all these people like, shame on you.
Or like from those fucking haunted dolls that we talked about.
Oh yeah,
the
that one
premarital
haunted
sex one. Yeah, I didn't
eBay
like
doll.
It.
Yeah.
Maybe she had one of those, dude. Ask her.
And so she followed you home to be like, you need to be better. For anyone that hasn't listened, we did a haunted items on eBay episode. And there were a few of the dolls that were like very prim and proper and judgmental if their owner had premarital sex at all.
Very religious and very, very old school about it.
Yeah, and one of them made it
Quaker.
very, very clear to her owner that she did not like that her owner was having sex. And I guess it was super mean, and that's why she was being rehomed.
She was rehomed, remember?
Oh yeah, somebody bought almost all of the items we discussed last time I checked. Yeah, I don't even know what else to say on that one. The second time I think very much seemed like sleep paralysis. Like it fit all of the checklist, you know?
Yeah.
It's almost as if it started as something else and then manifested into sleep paralysis. Or the hag was like, maybe if I show up again as a sleep paralysis demon, he'll just think nothing of it and be like, oh, I had sleep paralysis.
Yeah. That's what it was doing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
At least you got a story out of it.
That's fair. And you're safe.
Worse.
And it just happened those 2 times.
Sorry you can't get with the baddies.
Yeah, sorry.
Unless you want to deal with the haggies.
The haggies.
Dude, doesn't sound that bad. If you really want a baddie, just fucking hang out with a hag for the night after. That's
Baddies over haggies.
all right. What do we got next?
Okay. Story 3. This one I've been saving for a long time.
Oh.
We were given permission to use this story back when we were doing our Ouija board series.
Oh, that was like the 80s, dude.
Yeah,
That's hell long
forever ago. Yeah, unfortunately, I got it just after we had posted our Ouija listener story episode, so I've been saving it ever since. So this one comes to us from Faith. Back in 2014, I moved into a punk house owned by a friend in Baltimore City. The house was known to have punk shows all the time. My old band played there back in the day. My friend was living there, and the owner knew I needed help with cheap rent, so they really helped me out with a cheap room, only $250 a month. There were 2 girls that I knew who were moving out as soon as I was moving in, and they told me they messed up by using a Ouija board in the house. They said they didn't think it was real, but they accidentally let something into the house and were seeing shadow figures going up and down the main staircase. Of course it was on the fucking staircase.
She took that into consideration. Was like $250. We'll test it.
Right, I'd do it. We've had that
let's
discussion.
see.
Ghost for rent? Yeah.
Ghost or demon, depends on which one.
Yeah.
And you got to at least test it. Was this, hold on, what was the lease situation? Was it like a 6-month, 12-month, month-to-month?
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, that's what you gotta find out first.
Yeah. But it's ridiculous because there are two places that ghosts always haunt that does not make sense, and it's staircases and bathrooms. Why?
I don't know.
Those aren't even like the poppin' places in the house when you're alive.
Those are the best places to scare the shit out of people, though.
I guess, where you're not expecting to see anything. That's
Yeah.
fair. Yeah. All right.
Now, if you really want to get hurt, you'll be some old hag popping up on the side of the bed while I'm trying to get lucky.
Okay, back to the story.
Put mitts on her. Bah!
I thought, great. I need the cheap rent, and these dumbasses let something in, so this will be interesting. I move in, decorate my room, and get settled. It's a double wide house that has a history of being a halfway house, back before it was owned by my friend. There's a dingy, dark basement with graffiti everywhere, a stage for bands, and a huge pentagram painted on the wall above the stage. I play drums, so when I moved in, I set up my drum kit on the stage to practice. My first experience, I was playing drums and I saw a shadow figure move in the corner of my eye. I just told myself that I didn't see anything and moved on. I did not engage.
Well, that's not very punk rock of you. You gotta engage with it.
Okay. I would not engage either.
Well, you're not punk rock.
Then, upstairs in the second floor where my bedroom was, there was a long dark hallway leading to the bathroom. I swear there was something lingering in the darkness at night behind me when I left my room to go to the bathroom. At one point, I was vocally telling it to leave me alone. My boyfriend, now fiancé, moved to Baltimore a year after, and I didn't tell him anything about my experiences. A month or so into him moving in, he randomly told me that he felt like something was watching or following him in that hallway.
Bet it's the old hag.
I purposely didn't tell him because I wanted to know it wasn't just me, but that was all the validation I needed. After that, I spoke with the house owner's husband. He said when he lived in that house, he was living in a different bedroom on the second floor and was in his room with two dogs and heard a loud banging on his door. His dog started growling. He picked up his baseball bat and went throughout the house, but no one was there. I still, to this day, don't know why my other roommates at the time had no experiences. I think I'm personally more aware of it. I also believe in God. So I don't know if the spirit picked up on that and hated me, or if my roommates weren't as in tune with it.
She probably was a lot more in tune. That's probably, big part of it, being a little bit more spiritually adept.
Sensitive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just being a little bit more in tune. You kind of see the oddities that other people aren't picking up on, and they're just like, oh, never even noticed.
Yeah. Then Faith says, I personally think the entity was of demonic nature and hated the fact that I was living there, but couldn't do much other than watch me. Oh, I also remember the hair standing straight up on the back of my neck in that hallway, and I'm not an easily frightened person.
It could have been that old hag.
That'd be wild, huh?
I'd be mad as shit.
No, but I do think the God thing probably had a lot to do with it. If she's religious and it felt like a demonic creature. Yeah. I wonder if the owner...
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, but I wonder if the owner was religious at all, too.
I don't know.
Yeah. But that's creepy. This story I've been thinking of, like, so much since I read it months ago. Because it's the fact that, like, you could move into a house, especially as renters like us. We move so much. You don't know what people have done in that house before you.
That's true.
And what if somebody played with the fucking Ouija board and unleashed something and was like, well, I don't know how to deal with this, so I'm just going to dip. And then you move in?
Well, I'm sure it follows them.
I hope. This one didn't.
Well, that's because there was still stuff and people from the house still there.
That's fair.
It was just some of the people that moved out. So that entity could be still tied with something else in the house.
Maybe they left the Ouija board.
Or anything else, because it was only a couple of the people from a halfway house and a punk rock house. Like, there's a lot of shit that comes and goes, so it's not like everything clears out.
I get that. Okay, so that makes me feel a little bit safer.
Yeah.
But Faith, I'm sorry you had experienced that.
I mean, it's a great, experience, though.
It makes a great story, but it's definitely scary.
But punk rock,
It is very punk rock, but at least it didn't I mean, I'm sure it felt terrifying. I'm not trying to diminish that at all. But at least it didn't seem to be dangerous. Like it wasn't trying to hurt you, or at least it wasn't able to hurt you. It was
Yeah,
just
for sure.
a voyeur, like the hag.
Just fucking annoying.
Yeah.
More of a nuisance.
Yeah. Okay, our next story is from Anonymous.
Uh-oh.
Not that anonymous. They just wanted
okay.
to remain anonymous.
Oh, all right.
When my child was young, maybe 7 or 8, she would tell me she had a hard time sleeping. What the fuck? So when we record, we have an alien light that we turn on. And it just moved. I don't know how to explain it. It didn't fall. It moved.
It decided to adjust itself.
Yeah.
Shift.
That was weird.
That was odd. E.T., go home. All right, let's try that again.
Okay. When my child was young, maybe 7 or 8, she would tell me she had a hard time sleeping because the little man kept going into her room and waking her up. And she called him the little man. I thought maybe it was in a dream, even though she was talking like he was physically in the room with her. Then a few nights later, I woke up and saw what I thought was my daughter at the end of the bed. When she saw me wake up, she ran back to her room. So I got up and I went to her room, and she was sitting up in her bed and told me, the little man told me that he was going to tell on me for not being asleep. And then my daughter defended herself and said that she was trying to sleep, but he kept waking her up. I asked her if she was just in my room, and she swore that she hadn't left her bed. But I saw someone in my room. I looked all over the house, and I didn't see any evidence of anyone else being in our home. So I told my daughter that she was the boss, and if she didn't want him in her house, she had to tell him to leave.
Hopefully that shit worked, because that sounds creepy as hell.
Yeah. Then she told me that he's attached to bad memories, especially bad childhood memories. She said that he wasn't at the house for her, but he was there because of me. My daughter seemed more annoyed than scared of the little man. So the next day, I opened all my windows and doors, and with intention, I cleared my home of all entities that didn't belong. My daughter still reported seeing the little man outside, but she said she never saw him inside the house again. Later in life, my daughter, maybe when she was in her 20s, brought up the little man again. She said that she sees different versions of the little man following people, but she says the little man never comes in her house, even if the entity belongs to one of her guests. The little man always stays outside. She still says that the little man is attached to trauma, but the little man that she sees is about the size of a 7-year-old, not 7 inches.
Yeah, she's grown. It's grown too, so she can see traumas. Okay.
Yeah,
So
isn't
she
that
sees
weird?
like, yeah, that's wild.
But yeah, that's so creepy. First of all, you know that like seeing things in my bedroom, like that's such a big fear of mine.
Yeah.
All these creepy sleep demons and entities and stuff.
That's how I got in a fight with your elliptical.
Yeah. But I don't know. This one is like scary, but sad and like kind of poetically beautiful. How do you handle that as a parent? You did a great job, Anonymous. Because I don't know. I think I would have freaked the fuck out and I would have given
I would have
trauma
called
to
that
my
thing out.
kid. Yeah.
Like, come on, you little man. Where you at? You already heard how I'd handle the old hag. Like, come on.
Not me. I think I would have been like, let's go sleep. Let's get a hotel tonight. We don't need to be here.
And he'd be there.
Probably, huh?
Then what are you gonna do?
Because if he's attached to my trauma, yeah, he'd just keep following us. But
Probably.
that's so.
Yeah. Like,
But that's so interesting to me that she still sees him and different like variations of him. That's like a superpower.
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like being a medium. I told you how I used to be a medium.
And now you're large.
Oh, I'm a large. I'm a big back.
Whatever. But that does make me curious. What line of work is your daughter in? Like, do you think she's like a trauma counselor or something now?
That'd be a terrible job.
Because then, yeah.
She'd be always fucking tripping.
That's fair, huh?
Yeah, that'd be... Anonymous, you can let us know or not, but that'd be... I'm kind of interested too, like...
Yeah.
Ooh. Especially if she sees trauma. Ooh.
Yeah. That's crazy. And that's also so insane that at such a young age, she was able to be like, he's
This ain't
attached
my
to
trauma, dude. This is yours.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Very like aware of herself.
Absolutely. She's like, dude, my childhood's been great, Mom. You had a messed up one. You need to confront that and get this guy outside. Right now, I'm just trying to sleep.
Yeah, this is giving me trauma.
She's like, this guy's fucking bothering me, man. I'm trying to sleep, and he's going to snitch on me for keeping me up. Like, this is... Talk to your friend, Mom.
Yeah, that's fun. I don't think that's the right word, but it's...
Whimsical.
Whimsical. But there you go. Okay, the next story we have shared before.
Oh.
But I thought it deserved its own spot in a listener stories episode.
Okay.
This one was sent in by my auntie.
Which one?
Sarah.
Oh.
Yeah, I think we shared it in like the intro of an episode once, but it definitely deserves its own spot. I did take some creative liberties to turn it into like a full story because ours was just like a little text chat, but all of the facts remain the same. Sarah had a routine. When her husband arose early from work, she'd get up too, even if she was off that day.
Sounds terrible.
It is. I love my uncle dearly, but yeah, the whole house has to get up when he gets up. But there's a reason for it now that I learned of because of this. Rather than start her day, she'd curl up in the living room under a blanket, dozing off again while the world was still quiet. It wasn't just habit, it was safety.
Dun dun.
Things had a tendency to happen when she slept alone in the bedroom.
Dun dun.
Things she didn't fully understand.
Dun dun.
Things that watched.
Dave.
You made that same joke last time.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. She never slept deeply during those mornings. Even with her eyes closed, her body remained alert. Sometimes she'd wake with a jolt, heart pounding, paralyzed beneath a blanket of cold air that seemed to crawl into her bones, overcome with the sense that she was being watched. Watched. It sounded like I said washed.
Like somebody was bathing her in her living room.
It was a familiar presence by now, one that chilled her spirit more than her skin. But last night was different. She'd fallen asleep in bed, next to her husband, who was already softly snoring. It was the same bed that always dipped a little when someone sat on it, a soft creak that told you you're not alone. And that's exactly what she felt. Someone sitting at her feet. Slowly, deliberately, the bed sank beneath an unseen weight. Only, Sarah wasn't fully asleep. Or was she?
I don't know. You're the one telling me.
She couldn't move. She couldn't speak. But she could see. She could feel. What sat at the foot of the bed wasn't her dog. And it wasn't human. Not really.
Was it Danny?
A creature, twisted, hunched, with long black stringy hair, began crawling up her side of the bed. Its movements were wrong, jerky, like an insect pretending to be a person. It sniffed at her, its face inches from hers. Its mouth was too big, its teeth rotten, its smile wide and knowing. Her first thought was bizarrely maternal. Is that Danny? But her son's presence would never come with this kind of cold dread. She tried to move, to scream, to do anything, but her body wouldn't respond. A paralysis pinned her in place, her mind shrieking silently inside. Then she noticed the figure in the corner. By the bedroom door, something stretched an arm out, long and warped, and began tapping her husband on the head, over and over again.
Bet it was the old hag.
Despite this heavy snoring, he began to mumble, her husband, "It's not Danny. Stop it. It's not Danny. Tap. Stop it. It's not Danny. Stop. Tap." Still paralyzed, Sarah watched the creature beside her bed. The cold deepened, her husband mumbled on. Then finally, her body snapped awake. She gasped. Her limbs tingled as if returning from a deep freeze. Her husband continued to snore beside her, mumbling faint remnants of "Stop it. It's not Danny." like echoes of another place. As Sarah sat up, breathing hard, her eyes scanned the room, and that's when she saw it. Up in the corner, where the ceiling met the wall, hovered a pale, gaunt face. It stared down at her with a crooked smile that was too wide. Its eyes were bottomless pits, and its grin stretched with impossible glee as it slowly dissolved into the darkness. Sarah turned over quickly and began to pray, fervent whispered words for protection. Eventually, exhaustion overtook fear, and she drifted into uneasy sleep. But in the morning, her husband was different. He stood in the kitchen confused. "I feel like my brain is off," he told her, rubbing his temples. "Like there's parts missing. I know we had something to do today, but I can't remember what. And I can't remember a few things, actually." Sarah hadn't yet shared what she'd seen, what she'd felt. The creature, the paralysis, the tapping, the voice coming from his snoring mouth, the rotting smile in the ceiling corner. It wasn't until she told her other son about that night that he brought up something that she hadn't considered. An episode of our podcast that was about sleep paralysis and the horrifying things that sometimes come with it. But this wasn't just a dream, and what her husband experienced, that touch on his head, the strange voice coming out of him, the missing errands, it meant she hadn't been the only one visited. It wasn't Danny, it was something else, and it knew them both.
It was the old hag.
It might have been the old hag. It had hair, but remember she said that it was dog-like, but also not a dog?
Those long fingers from the old hag.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how old hags like Dave?
That's true. I didn't think of that. But yeah, that's why I was so excited that I found so many sleep-related ones, or like sleep demon-ish related Reddit stories, because none of them seem like sleep demons, but they all fit the like description. But it's still so weird, even in just these stories, seeing the same accounts, people seeing the same things, experiencing the same things. Like I don't know, it feels
Too real?
Yeah, too similar to be a dream.
Too real to be faked?
Yeah. Like it freaks me the fuck out. As far as I know, my auntie has never had weird experiences sleep related in other houses. The house she's currently in does feel weird.
Always.
Always. Especially that back corner of the house where her bedroom is. Yeah, I don't know. We've stayed there before, and there is sometimes a feeling of being watched.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I thought it was just Dave.
Dave is my uncle, by the way. I don't think I said his name in the story. I still can't get over the fact that in my aunt's quote-unquote dream, she saw something tapping my Uncle Dave's head, and then the next day he was struggling to remember things. But even weirder than that, the fact that she saw something tapping his head and he was mumbling, "Stop, it's not Danny," as if he knew that my aunt first thought was like, maybe it's Danny.
That's very fair.
That, I don't know, it freaks me out so bad.
They're talking telekinetically.
Maybe, huh? Or they were awake and she said it out loud, like, "Is that Danny?" And he's like, "It's not Danny. It's not Danny." But also something that I feel like I didn't portray very well with that little short story. Like I said, all of the details are true. I just added a little extra flair for ambiance and all that. But one thing that I feel like I didn't explain very well is she woke up. Like she hit a point where she was for sure like, "Okay, no, I'm awake now. Like I can look around. I can move." And Dave was still mumbling, "It's not Danny. Stop it. It's not Danny." I don't know why I say Danny with such a twang. I'm sorry, but he was saying it's not Danny. I don't know. How do you explain that?
Just like you did, I suppose. I don't know.
That's so weird. Could you imagine if you were sleeping and you were having a nightmare, but you woke up and I was saying things that were in your dream?
Yeah, that'd be wild as shit, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got nothing else to add. All of these stories are so crazy, scary. I'm glad everybody's okay. I'm sorry you had to experience weird things. Hopefully things are better now.
Yeah, hopefully. Hey, if you still got the address on that old house too, punk rock person, see if people are still experiencing shit there.
That's fair.
I forgot to cover that part, yeah.
Yeah.
Sarah,
Okay.
I know you're still experiencing shit over there. So,
Yeah,
it's probably the old hag still.
probably
I'm just going. It's got to be.
something. I don't know. But all right, that's all I have.
Thank you guys for joining us on another exciting episode of Anxious at Bedtime, talking about people's demons and sleep paralysis.
And thank you so much to everybody that let us share your stories. We appreciate that so much. Sorry that our episode release schedule has been a little bit wonky. Things have been crazy. You guys know that if you've been around. Hopefully, we're getting onto a normal schedule soon.
We'll see.
We'll see. But we appreciate you guys for sticking around and supporting us. You have no idea how much it means.
Absolutely. You guys have been phenomenal.
Yeah. You can find us on social media.
We have TikTok, Facebook, Threads, Instagram, YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
If you or somebody you know has had a brush with the paranormal and would like to have that story read on the podcast, please email it to anxiousatbedtimepodcast@gmail.com.
The world can be a scary place with lots and lots of just terrible nightmares, I swear. Sometimes they're real demons, and this old hag that's stopping me from pulling baddies is really getting upsetting. But probably fine.
We're probably fine. Sleep tight.
Good night. Don't be too anxious.
Get those baddies.
Get them baddies.